All right, everybody, I'm just going to channel. There's so much coming in that I can't even calibrate it. So I'm going to turn off the mic and bring in Raphael. I'll be right there. Oh, hello. 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 We are very delighted, as always, to be here and to attune to all of you and to bring our love and light from realms and dimensions beyond. And as we are attuning to you and calibrating, we are recognizing that the energetic energy of this template is assimilating many new vibrations that are attuning to this frequency, which has created a little bit of interference or galactic collections of energies that are coming in. And so adding Merlin's vibration to this, it requires an enormous amount of expanding. And it is that this is the same for all of you, for we are deeply inviting you to expand your energetic container to be able to receive the downloads and the light that is bombarding the earth at this time, so that you feel at ease and grounded and centered and calibrated to it. And that is why we are recommending for this one and all of you to integrate all of the codes of light and all the transmissions and all the energy to date that has been received, to solidify that, to own that, to contain that, so that there is a deep sense of strength. And that strength then is able to feel solidified. And through that, there can be some expanding and opening to these new energies, because the influx of the energy arriving is extraordinarily expansive. And with that, it can feel at times a bit unsettling or destabilizing and a little chaotic. And so it requires a sense of deep focus. And much of the work in which we have been doing for a long period of time has been in preparation for the receiving of these energies and the movements that are taking place and the downloads that are being received during sleep time, and for many of you during wake time or needs to rest at certain moments, and the amplification of energies and information, dreams, understandings, and connections, and prolific feelings toward the shifting that is occurring. And so with that, Merlin's vibration is bringing in some of the oldest and most ancient and deeply rooted energies for all of you, so that you may be able to contain and hold these vibrations. For if you are to return to many of the ancient teachings that he wishes to share with you in relation relationship to much of the Druid vibration or the Bard vibration. Not that this is old in relationship to many of the deep ancient civilizations and their teachings, but it is so deeply rooted in nature and in the forest and in its ability to root you and to ground you, to stabilize you as you are birthing into new dimensions. And so this energy is here and present and coming in the most profound way. And although it is deeply rooted, it will have its polarity in the energy of color, in the energy of geometry, in the energy of math, and the energy of science, the understanding of things at a level in which require more of an etheric opening and spaciousness. And so it will be the merging of these two elements together that will be very profound in the capacity for you to quicken your creation. And this will and may require a revealing, in a sense, of a map that will be shown to you. For Merlin has a map, and upon this map is places that you must see or visit, things that you must do, behaviors that you must act upon, actions in which must be taken, and it will be in a sense revealed to you to notice, but it will not come as an overall, for you will not have a overview of the map and the full perspective of it, but will need to align in the trusting of your own inner instincts, in the ability to take the steps, knowing that as each step is taken, a new one will be presented and then another. But that if you have a great need to be able to project very far ahead and to be able to see with clarity as to the destination of your arrival, we encourage you to let go of this old paradigm or way of perception and thinking, and to embody more of a willingness to align with the presence and to attune to the moment and to surrender to the divine and the unfolding within as the magic reveals itself to you. And so this energy will be working with you very deeply in the coming weeks to prepare you for the remembering and the unveiling and the revealing of this ancient wisdom and teachings that will be not only coming from deep within the systems of nature and rooted in Celtic and energies, but will, in addition to that, be very galactic, which is not something that normally is merged together. For you do not normally see these energies intertwining, but it is necessary at this time because you must open up to this teaching from the perspective as above, so below. And it is that the energies of the Druids came and are in alignment and attuned to that of Atlantis. And all of this teachings and knowledge is surfacing right now. And it is happening at such a quickened pace that if you are sensitive to these energies, it can be quite overwhelming as it moves through you and it evokes memories and flashes of ways in which things were, and information and abilities begin to come online. And so this process will be putting the tools in place for you to begin to work with them in a way that will be stepping stones for you to align with the magic in conjunction with Merlin's vibration.
Thank you, Raphael. So I guess the big question here is, what tools do we have, or that the Druids could provide, or that Merlin could provide, in order to lay a foundation for us to receive this galactic energy and magic in a way that isn't completely overwhelming for our system?
Oh, well, it will require lots of time, of course, in nature and attuning to the different energies of the building blocks of the elements, and to originate or the origin to begin, as always, with the cube. The cube meaning the energy that is stabilized, that is connected with the earth, that anchors you, that grounds you, that assimilates and holds and contains all that is needed to be contained. As you then will move into through processes into your dome, in the octahedron, in the creation and the birthing of new realities. But this anchoring within the cube is the stabilization that is needed to root yourself in. And we have been working in recent days with Kelly in rooting in the energies that were received by the Syrian elders that came to at the bottom of your feet, that brought you down and anchored you in to begin to root together, so that you can interweave and connect to one another across the globe, so that you do not feel isolated or alone in the unfolding of these energies, to begin to anchor in more light. And just as we have worked frequently with all of you in the creating of the grids around the planet and tapping into them, it is that there has been a little bit of neglect in the anchoring in of it beneath the surface to stabilize the ground and to stabilize all of you.
So what can we do to create this stabilization now?
We require a deep strengthening of your energetic body and of your physical body, both, and to harness the energy and to pay attention to it in a deep willingness to slow down, to be very methodical, to be present, to take time, to pay attention, to be in the moment, to be barefoot on the earth, to be in the woods, to attune to the minerals and the crystals and the plants, to attune to the animals and the birds and the swimming ones, to connect with all living creatures and things, and the witnessing of the interconnection of the systems and how they all relate to one another and how you relate to them, rather than being in places of isolation or separation. For there has been a great separation that has taken place from nature to you, from the isolation of your dwellings and your concrete cities and etc. But in addition to that, there has been even more isolation as you have moved into a deep sense of separateness from one another, and moved away more from community and interpersonal connection and family connection and ritual and ceremony and meals and etc. And so community and connection and nature and interaction and being together in group settings and around fires and with meals, in prayer, and with returning to some of the most basic ways of your humanness is very important for all of you, to maintain this sense of equilibrium and to disconnect on many different levels from that distracts you from the heart.
So as we move through to ground ourselves in more of these basic practices of eating meals together, having fires, sitting in prayer, a lot of people feel that they might be too busy for this. And I'm curious on how important this is and what should we be willing to sacrifice in order to do this?
It is extraordinarily important. And it is only in the mind that you create this idea that you are too busy. For you are too busy doing what? And what is it that you are too busy doing? And what is it that in itself is that you think that you take time from? And in the remembering of returning to these basic ways of being, you learn how to expand time, and you learn how to align with the synchronicity and the flow and the unfolding of what is to take place and to occur. And you begin to become that salmon swimming through the stream. And otherwise, you simply get caught in the whirlwind of something in which you are turned around in a direction, swimming and working so hard to get somewhere, but not moving, but moving against the current. And so it is that the current of life has certain cycles and natural orders that are in great disturbance around your globe. And it is that at least bringing them back into balance within the natural rhythm and cycles of eating and resting and sleeping and speaking and sharing and loving and caring and attuning to one another begins to align you with this flow of energy. For you must remember that you are only energy and always and ever has been energy. For you are just a memory of different energies. That is the unfoldment of your experience. For you, if you were to begin to move down into the energetic vibration of your being, all of you could sit on the fingertip of another. For it is the solidity of your form is in itself is an illusion. And so we invite you not to get caught up in these patterns of illusion in the idea of that of what you value, and to begin to return to some of those things that are more in alignment with the truth that resides within your heart. Just because the information and the access to it is accessible to you in a way that it can fully absorb you into its field does not mean that you should follow down that rabbit hole in itself, but know that you are the one navigating and the one that is pointing it in the direction and utilizing it as a tool to drive and to support you where it is that you are wanting to go, rather than it driving you. And what we are recognizing now in the perception of our experience as we witness that many are being driven by the information itself that has been given to you as an access point of a tool to in itself be something that you drive, meaning that you are the creator of the unfoldment of your experience, where you are navigating and utilizing that which you have as it is and gives you momentum in the creation of what is to unfold, rather than you being taken with it and through it and it driving you. And that will be and is such a critical point in time now, to become very clear in the capacity of your ability to create and to drive the direction of your experience, and to attune to the importance of what is of value, what is driving you, what is behind what is driving you, what is the importance of what is driving you, and where is it that you are going to, and what is happening while you are going there that you are doing and leaving behind to get somewhere else. And so in that, we invite you to recognize that just like the old saying that one who does not have time to meditate needs to meditate more than another, it is the same in all of these rituals, because they in themselves expand time simply in the ability to align you with the currency of the energy that flows, that you merge with. And so life just becomes this beautiful, easy unfoldment of experiences in which you need to do in larger periods of time gets condensed, and you find much more graciousness and playfulness and joy and tenderness and love and connection with one another, because that is really at the depth of all of this, the purpose of the human experience, for your human experience, so temporarily here on this planet that you call Earth, has not been given to you to be in a box looking and great distraction at all times at things, but it is to use the sensory input that is occurring in the information that is attuned to you through the vibrations and interconnections of that which is alive, and that of the breath of the tree and the whisper of the wind, and the flying about of the soaring eagle, and the attuning to the feet, and your connection into the pulsation of the earth itself, and the lying together and feeling the heartbeat of a loved one and holding their hand and speaking in depth of truth and real feeling, without stepping, or without always being on the surface, perhaps we should say. And so when we talk about grounding, we talk about that which you are familiar with around grounding, but grounding also occurs emotionally. Grounding where you release the surface small talk, the chatting about the weather, the discussing things that are irrelevant to pass time, but to truly move into the depth of your emotion, the depth of your relationship, the depth of your work, the depth of your imagination, the depth of the earth, the depth of everything. We're inviting you to go deeper, to ground deeper into all aspects of the body, not just in the physical, in the grounding in which you know, but in all the pieces of your energetic field, to deepen them, and to return to tradition and connection with one another.
Amazing, Raphael. So a lot of us know these things and we get it, right? We get how important it is and we get what we need to do on a lot of aspects. Some of us do, some of us don't. My question is, when we do know what to do and why to do it, why do we still not do it anyway? What is the fear underlying our inability to actually sit down and have that meal, to go into that deeper place, to take the time to go out and sit in nature and connect to the magic? Why, what fear is preventing us from doing it, even though we know its importance?
Oh, well, there is the mind that there's something else that you have to do, somewhere else that you have to get, something else that you have to accomplish, a carrot that is always dangling there, and a feeling that you will not arrive where you think that you need to arrive. And so you create a need to hurry, to move on to the next thing, to get to the next project. But in that, you are missing everything along the way, and there is never a place of true arrival. And so it is that the earth is creating, and your consciousness is creating this chaotic energy right now that is inviting you and forcing you in the speed of it to stop, to ground, to rest, to be, to listen, to pay attention, to discern, to attune, to utilize all of the skills and all of the things that have been cultivated to now, and bringing them fully and completely into practice. And so it is simply us here to keep reminding you of that, and to remind one another of that, and to make a decision today of one thing perhaps that you will commit to between now and when you begin to work with Merlin, that will really guide you on your path of aligning with the presence in a deep, grounded, and profound way.
Can you give us some examples of rituals, practices, or exercises that we could choose from before we work with Merlin?
Well, Merlin is quite interesting. He's very busy getting things ready for all of you, and he's in his cave right now, getting things set. But what he would like you to do is to work with the practices in which you were working with prior to this week or so in the energy field of your body, because it is truly attuning to the pillar of light, the current that moves through your body, whether you want to call that your prana or your chi or whatever word you're wanting within the tube of light within, to be fully conscious of it, to attune to it, aware of it, expanding upon it and operating and moving through it as you are that light, aware of your light, knowing that you are light, that you have always been this light, and becoming conscious of it and moving with it in a very conscious and deliberate way, in the recognition that every step that you take is having an impact energetically upon the soil that you are touching, upon the people that you are interacting with, upon the sounds in which you are making, upon all of the things that you are connecting with, and all of the elements, whether that be the way that your field of light interacts with the water or with the ground or with the spirit or with the air. And so working with your energy to bring it in and out, which we can show and prepare and work with you to do, and become attuned to it, and more attuned to the gifts that have been given to you in recent months by the Syrian elders, and practicing regularly with those particular gifts is something that will prepare you. But for now, we're going to take a break from all of that, for we feel we've gotten off a bit on a tangent, and would like to attune you for a moment to the forest and to the energies there. So with that, please take a nice deep breath. Breathing in and letting go, and coming into the presence of the here and now, becoming aware of awareness itself, and aware that you are a being of light, aware of the light around you emanating from your heart, placing your hand upon your heart, tuning in to your heart and saying, I love you. I love you. Connecting into the gentleness and the sweetness and the vibration of love itself. Bringing your awareness to your solar plexus, and aware of the energy there, of the ball of light within your solar plexus. Feel that light there, like a little tiny sun, beaming light inside your solar plexus. Aware of that energy and the potency of it. Begin to bring it out of your solar plexus as it is hovering in front of you, a sphere of light hovering in front of you, like a condensed, beautiful, bright sun, attuning to its energy. If you are wanting, you can put your hands around it and feel the energy and the pulsation of this light and this energy in and out, connecting to it, feeling the pulsation of this light and allowing it to begin to expand, becoming wider and wider and wider, as if now you feel and are aware that you are inside this golden sphere of bright, warm light. You are a sphere of golden light. That is who you are, an energy of love, like an orb of light. When we see you from the other realm, this is how we see you, as these beautiful floating balls of light. We recognize you've densified into a form and that you have a face and a body and a name, but we know you more than that. And we see you as these pulsating energy fields. And we are fully aware of how powerful you are, how beautiful you are, how you radiate and shimmer in multifaceted colors of energy, how you are made of shape, and each of you carry a signature, a residence of a specific field of light and sound. You are vibrating with so much more that can be felt with the vessel of the form you are in now. And what is happening is you are starting to become more and more conscious and aware of that. And as you begin to remember and wake up to your true self of who you really are, you can recognize that it is through your consciousness and that in which you align with that energy that all form, all experience in which you navigate and move through is born through you. You are the creator of everything, and everything is you. Merlin's energy is here and present. He is aligning with this sweet, gentle, playful, magical energy, inviting you back into the realms of storytelling and poetry and music, playfulness and the joy and the magic of the humanness in a time, in a place where everything was twinkling with a certain light, like the twinkling in his eyes. Bring your awareness now for a moment that you are in this sphere, and contained within it is the most magical and beautiful forest that you can ever imagine, where the pine trees are so tall and majestic, and you sense their strength and their presence. And this energy is surrounding you. You are in the sphere, and on the outer edges now are these beautiful pine trees, and you are in the middle of them, as if you are in a grove. Inside this grove, you are just being and connecting to these trees, for they are sending you love, and you feel love radiating toward you and in your heart. Things are a bit misty right now, and you are just there in the mist, feeling the presence of the trees. Just take a moment to be here in this beautiful and magical grove. And as you stand here, become aware that at the bottom of your feet are tetrahedrons, or pyramids of light. And these pyramids are facing down into the earth, and they have golden strings that are coming out the tip, and they are connecting into the root system and attuning to the trees now. And you are connecting with these beautiful trees that are surrounding you. and they are welcoming you into their network of life. And as this happens, you feel yourself connecting to the trees around you and the pulsation of their energy. They are so strong. They are pillars of light standing still in the forest. And beneath them, their roots go out in all directions, connecting to each other and now to you. You are connected to them. And as you feel this, a pulsation of energy comes back from them into the pyramids beneath your feet like a green light. And this light is coming up through the pyramids and up both of your legs and into your heart and into your arms and up into your head. And it is filling you with this vibration of purity, of stillness, of strength, of connection. You are connected to this network of love that is attuned to all of the elements of nature and that supports one another and supports you. And as you are standing here in this grove, the energy goes back down and into the pyramids beneath your feet, and they now begin to create a web of energy like root systems growing from your feet down deep into the earth, connecting now not only with these trees, but with the network of all the trees on the earth. You are connecting to all of the trees on the earth. Begin to take in how massive this network is. All of the trees on the earth are connected and pulsating and loving and caring for one another. And now you are connected at this deep level. And as you have connected into this network of light, all of you are also connecting into this network, which is connecting you as well into a beautiful grid of light beneath the surface, grounding you into the earth and attuning you now to the feeling and the sensation of the planet. And these roots are going deeper and deeper as you begin to feel the pulsation of the beating heart of the beautiful Mother Earth. She loves you so much and is inviting you to connect to her, inviting you to lay bare naked upon her on the forest floor in the moss, inviting you to swim in the stillness of her placid lake, inviting you to lay in the meadows, looking at the billowing clouds above, inviting you to feel her, sense her presence, align with her, attune to her and remember that she is your greatest advocate, for she is who loves you and gives you life. Without her, you are not having this experience. And so she wants you to remember her, to honor her, to love her, to pay attention to her, for she has many things to share with you and many gifts to give you. For you are here to experience all of her beauty and to lay next to her, to feel her beneath you, to sense her, to attune to her pulsation and her love. And it is through this that all things are possible. This is the doorway into the magic. This is where the oak tree door opens and you follow Merlin down the golden path and into the crystal cave, where he invites you into the remembering and the teaching of the elements and the attuning to magic, where the dome is formed and the creation of your reality is born. For all things here are quickened, and you now are ready for the quickening creation of your experience, but only through the deep interwebbed connection to all that is and ever has and ever shall be. Taking a moment just to be there in that energy, a beautiful goddess appears. This is the white goddess of love. She has beautiful red hair and beautiful blue eyes, pale skin and freckles, wearing a green dress, standing before you. She comes closer to you and she looks at you and she says, "Do you remember me? For we have galloped together before on the horses through the forest and the glens to meet Merlin. And together as we rode there, you shared with me your deepest desires and your greatest passions, the dreams that you wanted to bring to life. And I am here to remind you that all of those dreams are possible, that everything that you've ever wanted to feel and experience is simply awaiting you in the creation of your willingness to allow it to be, to trust in the Great Mother, and to attune to the magic as Merlin shares with you his gifts and his teachings, so that you remember how to use the light and the sound and the geometries and the shapes to give birth to the creation of your dreams. And as you attune to that, you know in your heart that it is true. You remember the lifetimes in which this was so. And you know that they are being revealed. The teachings are coming back online to be understood and remembered. That yes, you can delve deep into the knowledge and the wisdom before you, but soon it will not matter, because it can all be created with just a word. But it only can be created and birthed dependent upon the love in your heart, the frequency that you carry, and the instructions that you share for it to become so. It is the creation of instant creation through the awakening and the birthing of the lights that are within. Merlin begins to make his awareness more and more present. Begin to notice his energy as he begins to appear. In the quickening of a moment, the sense of his cheekbones, the smile on his face, the twinkling in his eyes, the deep purple of his cloak, attuning to his energy, feeling it now, aware that he is there. There is a place that he wants you to know, for he is not in his normal place now. He is getting things ready for you, but not where he normally does. He is preparing everything, for there is much to do. Right now, he is in Scotland. He is at the place in the sea where the sea lions are on the rocks. He has gone into the cave of the heart where the crystals form in a certain formation, for they are very vertical in form and they are embedded with new codes. These codes are being allowed to be released, and he is getting them ready for you. He is inside what many would call, with the name of the Fingal of the cave in the heart, of Staffa in Scotland. He asks you now to trust him, for there is much preparation to be done and many things to get in order. For he has opened something for you. It is a chest of sort. It is at his feet. He says, come for a moment, come. There's many steps here to get in. Take a moment. As you move down the steps, you are on a ledge. Be very careful. You do not recognize this, but you will become familiar as we work together. You are standing on a ledge, looking down at the sea, and it is quite a bit of a drop. So pay attention as you walk here very gently. Coming closer to my cave. I am waiting there for you. This is not my normal place, and I will not be here during all of our work, but I wanted to invite you in because I am here to begin to gather your energy. I am gathering it and attuning to it as we work together so that you may reveal to me and I may show to you the unveiling of the map of the treasure of that which is waiting for you. Just sensing yourself in the cave with Merlin and just taking a moment to allow yourself to expand into the possibilities of creating a life, of creating everything in alignment with a dream, of your dream, of what that dream may be and how that dream may present itself, and trusting in him to hold that dream for you so that the map of it, the map meaning that in which the path you must follow will take place, will reveal itself to you. As he rolls these dreams together and weaves them into a large sphere of light, he carries and holds them now for you collectively, and asks that you trust him, for he has things to do to get ready, to prepare for the unfolding of these dreams. And your work between now and then is simply to trust, to let go, to not try to figure it out, or even to write it down, or to make it be, but to allow. Your homework is to listen to that inner voice within, and to awaken in the morning with a pad and a paper. And as you are listening to that inner voice within, writing upon the top of the paper, what today is the most important thing that I can do to align with my dream. And you will write down one thing and one thing only. And you will be asked to do that one thing, just that one thing. It might be quite small or seem irrelevant, but that is all you will be asked to do. And then you are to play in nature and to connect with the Great Mother and to move into the energies of stillness. And then tomorrow, you will ask your question again. Today, show me the one thing that I shall do to make my dream unfold. Tell me the one step that I must take. And you will follow that step. And as you do that, the momentum will build, and steps after steps after steps will be taken until you climb through the cave and up and up and up until you are standing on top of the great island, looking out at the sea, and the dome will begin to be formed. And within the dome, the creation will be born, and the playful journey with Merlin shall begin. And so for now, know that you are held within a sphere of light, connected to all that is beneath you and all that is above you, and that all that you need to do is go within and ask, what is the one step that I can do today that my dream will come true? And then simply do that and let go. And with that, you can just take a nice deep breath, coming back into the presence of the here and now. Breathing in and out. Oh, all right, everybody. Not what I was expecting for today, but sweet. There was sweetness for sure. I have delayed doing the Merlin code for several weeks because I'm going to be doing some things to prepare for it that I wasn't expecting to. And I'm inviting all of you to do the same. Really spend some time dreaming, creating, getting clear on your vision, spending time in nature, listening to where life invites you to go and go there. And take baby steps, because this is a culmination of many of the codes we've already done. And I want us to really be ready for it and prepared. It's going to start October 9th instead of September 18th. I really encourage you guys to be light code members, because I'm going to be doing spontaneous calls for the next 4 weeks on my travels and my connections with Merlin and with the energy and everything that's happening and the galactic beings. And we're going to really work on strengthening our light body and doing some pretty profound exercises with our light body for creating and manifesting. And then we'll start the code. Okay. So thanks for popping on today. I love you. Thanks for your patience with me. I am calibrating to a new energy, so it's a process. All right, everybody, have a beautiful weekend. And Light Code members, I'll see you in the morning at 9 o'clock. If not, I love you all so much. I hope you're having a good time. And yeah, we're gonna attune to that Merlin, and it's gonna be great. Does anybody have